in honor of our class of 2021. Good afternoon, Bronco families, distinguished guests, friends, faculty, and staff, and seniors. Welcome to Northgate High School's commencement ceremony for the class of 2021. My name is Kelly Cooper, and I have the great honor of serving as principal of Northgate High School. First, I would like to introduce and thank some of our invited honored guests. Our Superintendent of Mount Diablo Unified School District, Dr. Adam Clark. Board President, Sharice Cound. We have trustees, Linda Mayo and Deborah Mason. Our Director of Special Education, Dr. Wendy Aguili. And also in attendance, I'd like to recognize our beloved long-term substitute teacher, Mr. Jack Campbell. Also joining me on stage is our Master of Ceremonies in his 19th year teaching here at Northgate High School. Please give a big hand to Michael On. On my left, please welcome our tireless academic counselors, Kristen Bly and Leanne Owen, along with Mandy Kaur, who is unable to join us this evening. And finally, please welcome our two outstanding co-administrators, Ms. Kara Ravina and Mr. Craig Box. I'd like to take a quick moment to honor our three retirees who have served the Northgate community with excellence and dedication. First up is Jim Kennerly, our special education assistant who worked in MDUSD for nearly 20 years. Next is Miss Sally Brown, our registrar, whose 9 years at Northgate proved to be exemplary, and she proved to be indispensable. And of course, our instrumental music director, Mr. Greg Brown, whose 24 years of working with our musicians have inspired and molded some of the most proficient, professional, and outrageously talented bands and musicians during his time here. Thank you, and from our entire Northgate community, for your incredible service, Mr. Brown. All right. So this is my first graduation speech as principal, and I'm pretty sure this is the part where I'm supposed to talk about how great the year was and all the great things we did. And unfortunately, seniors, we didn't see you. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see your legs. We all got just a little bit cheated, but instead of focusing on the things that we didn't see, I would love to focus on some of the things that we did. I've seen an office staff showing up at work every day when the entire building was still closed and when we were all still in quarantine so that they could answer calls, get you guys at the right Zoom, get you logged into Zoom, find the Google Classroom, make sure you have your textbooks, shout out to Rula, make sure you had your Chromebooks, and all of the things just to make sure that you were going to be successful. I've seen our amazing faculty taking risks, converting their curriculum to online, making visual formats to bring it to life, learning to create videos, Flipgrids, chats, virtual whiteboards, YouTube clips, parlays, polls, Pear Decks, and explain everythings. All that so that they can make their subject matter come to life in 2D. Shout out to teachers. Thank you. I've seen you guys joining classes, collaborating in groups, starting chats with your friends, getting in breakout rooms, starting study groups, and really coming together as a community to make sure that every single one of you rose to the top. You also respectfully would tell your teacher when they were on mute, when their video wasn't playing sound, and all of the other things, just quietly in the chat, "Hey, Ms. Cooper, we can't hear you." Thank you. I saw you, our students, participating in the community, organizing drives for food, books, shoes, socks, toys, dog toys, feminine products, toys for tots, coats, sporting goods, and more. You guys engaged with the community in a way that we haven't seen in a long time. I saw our students organizing and participating in rallies, student forums about race, and protests for social justice and equity. I've seen your homes, our family homes, you all have lovely homes, turn into mini comprehensive high schools, and you guys as our families serving as each role in that high school, sometimes an instructional assistant, sometimes an academic counselor, sometimes a cheerleader, sometimes a support counselor, food services all the time, custodial services sometimes, and every once in a while, maybe behind Zoom doors, you might have had an administrative conference or two. We thank our families. Without you, this success of this year would not have been possible. I've seen virtual band concerts, choir concerts, synchronized dance routines. I've seen animated shorts, skits in Spanish, pickle autopsies on your dining room tables. I've seen kids going out on hikes for their PE class and participating in yoga with Mr. On. I've seen carving clay in your garage. We're sorry for the mess. I've seen video drama productions, and I was thrilled to see 2 live ones. I've seen 25 sports competing in the last 3 months, and athletes setting records in cross country, boys golf, and girls basketball. And seniors, I see you. I see your resilience, your persistence, your strength, your newfound organization and independence. I've seen the time and collaboration and communication that all of you have improved upon, and all of that is making you one of the most prepared classes that we're sending out of our building. And now it's time for you to enter new buildings, perhaps something with windows. As your principal, I do believe I'm supposed to give you a small piece of advice as you go ahead to the next step. And my advice is this. From K through 8, you've had a map. You've had a straight line to your next destination, which was high school. Welcome. We were glad to have you. In high school, that map got a little more complicated. You had some choices, but you still had a map. Some of you took the scenic route. Some of you took some shortcuts. But you all made it here. This was your destination. But in this next piece, I say ditch the map. As long as you keep your compass. Your compass is your values, and your compass is your passion and your mission. As long as you listen to your gut and you keep your compass, wherever this place will take you next, whatever your journey is, it's going to be the right place. Seniors, we are so very proud of you. You've taken an unprecedented year, and you've absolutely crushed it. In fact, you now have set a precedent for those who might come after you, a standard of excellence that will be difficult to match, but it inspires people to try. Congratulations, and thank you. Now I would like to introduce a leader who has helped and supported all of us in getting through this year together. Please welcome our superintendent, Dr. Adam Clark.
Good afternoon, distinguished graduates. I'm honored to be your superintendent, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to spend this very special day with you and your families. None of us got here on our own, and so I want to take a moment and thank a few very important people in this room. First of all, I want to recognize our governing board. I work with the governing board who puts the needs of our students first and foremost. And at the end of your time within the Mount Diablo Unified School District, we expect you to be college and career ready. And the governing board governs with that in mind throughout the many tough decisions that they have to make throughout their terms. So again, I want to recognize Board President Sharice Cound, Vice President Deborah Mason, Trustee Linda Mayo, Trustee Aaron McFerrin, and Trustee Kaisha Nzewi. I also want to recognize someone who brought a different perspective to our board this year, and that is student board member Michelle Alas. The next group of people I want to thank in this venue are our families and parents. I want to thank each and every one of you for entrusting your students in our care. I hope that we have made you proud. I know it is not easy to raise young people in the world today. But parents, I want to recognize the sacrifice, the hope, and the dreams that you place within your students' future. Our students are worth it, and we hope that we have served you worthy. Students, can you please give your parents a great round of applause? Next, if we have any students with us today who next year will be serving our country in the armed forces, will they please stand and be recognized? Thank you. So today is an extremely special day. It is one day that we cannot take for granted. This day couldn't have happened for so many things that could have gotten in its way. But I believe that we must remain in the moment. And we have to take advantage of each day that we have, and today is an absolutely special day. And I know that you guys have suffered great loss over the last year and a half, and I understand that that has been difficult. But I'm here to tell you, I do not feel sorry for you. I do not feel sorry that you had to go through those tough experiences. But what I do feel towards you is envy. I'm envious of your determination, of your grit, of your creativity. What you have done over the last year and a half, no other group of students have been asked to do that before this time. And you all have excelled because you are here today. But tomorrow, there's going to be opportunities for you. And I want to make sure that you take advantage of each and every opportunity that comes your way. If the last year and a half has taught us anything, it has taught us that we should take nothing for granted. So yes, I am an educator. I am always going to advocate for furthering your education, whether that be a distinguished 4-year school, whether that be a 2-year junior college, whether you're going into earning a trade, but you should always thrive to be more educated than you were yesterday. Earn a credential, earn a degree or certificate. Make yourself a valuable commodity to whatever it is you choose to do in life. So as we look at what we've prepared you for, we've prepared you for college and career. College is definitely an important track, but career is something that you will do for the remainder of your lives. And just think of the people who you can touch and influence. There are so many challenges in this world today, but I am so hopeful of the future as I sit here and look at so many bright faces. So as you choose a career, choose something that will bring you joy and will help others. That way, you never have to work a day in your life. And that is a beautiful thing. So today, as we celebrate and as we see our classmates for the last time in this one big group, we are going to be thankful for the opportunities that we've already had. We're going to celebrate this day, and we're going to tackle tomorrow. Best of luck to the class of 2021. Thank you.
Please welcome our vice principals, Mr. Craig Box, Mrs. Kara Ravina, to present and recognize our Summit Award winners.
Good afternoon, graduates, families, guests. My name's Craig Box. I'm joined by my fellow Vice Principal, Kara Ravina. We'd like to take this moment to announce and celebrate our 2021 Summit Award winners. So for those of you that don't know, the Summit Awards are the highest honors bestowed upon our graduates. They're awards that are voted on by staff, by faculty, and by several members of the junior class. To announce the first award, Ms. Ravina.
Our first Summit Award is for scholarship and is awarded to the student who has shown exemplary achievement throughout their 4 years at Northgate, while also being involved in scholastic programs outside of class. This year's Summit for Scholarship is Tony De Leon.
Obviously, we have a few that are here today at the 3 o'clock ceremony, a few that will be at the 7 o'clock, but we'll announce them all. Our next Summit Award is for leadership, and this is to a student who served as a leader in every sense of the word, through example, through actions, and through time given to Northgate, not only the students, but the entire community. This year's Summit Award winner for leadership is Christina Coe.
Our next Summit Award is for service. It is awarded to the senior who has given time, energy, and efforts freely to the Northgate community and made a difference through service during 4 years on campus. This year, our Summit Award for service goes to Yoonji Kim.
And our final Summit Award is the overall award. It goes to a student who embodies all three pillars of excellence: scholarship, leadership, and service. For the 2021 graduating class, the Summit Award winner is Michelle Alas.
For our musical selection today, please welcome Miss Hannah Bachman from the senior class. She is going to be accompanied by our vocal music director at Northgate, Mr. Jeff Carter. And she will be singing "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday."
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh outweigh the bad. I thought we'd get to see forever, but forever's gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. I don't know where this road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through. If we get to see tomorrow, I hope it's worth the wait. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Our faculty speaker this afternoon has been teaching at Northgate since 2002. Long time ago. Please welcome Mrs. Corey Starr.
I can't believe I have to follow that. That was beautiful, Hannah. All right. I graduated here in 1985. I came down those same steps. I crossed the same stage. I remember feeling emboldened that day, despite the fact that I was painfully shy. When I was working on my teaching credentials, I returned to Clayton Valley, my alma mater, to substitute. I ate lunch in the teacher's lounge with many teachers who had taught me. No one remembered me or recognized me. I found out they all knew my younger brother, who was then a senior, but they couldn't place me. I felt invisible. I'd completed high school and college, and I hadn't left a mark or distinguished myself in any way, not even a blip. Fast forward to a few years ago, I was working in a high school, and I could see through new eyes kids who were just like me. The realization that I needed to do more came over me, and I decided no matter what the ask, I would say yes. Chaperone a school event? Yes. Write a letter of recommendation? Yes. Dress up for homecoming? Yes. Dance at the homecoming rally? Really? I mean, yes. Walk in graduation, go to a concert, a game, a performance, participate in a skit? Yes. I have to say, I felt my confidence build, and I paid less attention to the self-doubt. And then Miss Cooper asked me to do this. Honestly, abject fear was my first emotion, followed closely by all-out panic. I almost said no. I wanted to say no. But I couldn't trade 30 years of yeses and go back into hiding and that feeling of invisibility. So once the nausea subsided, I was struck with the thought, what on earth will I tell them? What could I possibly say that will be motivating or inspirational, especially after this crazy year? I could talk about what an unprecedented year this has been. We could talk about your resolve and your stamina, but do you really want to talk more about the pandemic? So I poured through all my saved inspirational Facebook posts, and I watched videos of graduation speeches and pre-game pep talks, and I scoured the internet for quotes from significant people, and I listened to every moving song I could think of. And what I came to realize is, there's nothing I can tell you, because it's all my experience. It's my failures, my lessons, my victories, what's meaningful to me. You will not be fulfilled by my journey. You will only find fulfillment and inspiration by going out and living your life. You will learn by making mistakes and finding strength within to pick yourself up and go back at it. You will draw inspiration from a song or a poem that moves you to act. You will have your eyes opened to a bigger world where you can recognize needs and work to fill them. I cannot map that course for you. I can only encourage you to seek it. I tell students as often as I can, go to college, travel the world, and find yourself before having kids. And I'm sure you're all rolling your eyes right now. But I mean it. Go to college. That could be a four-year college, a community college, a trade school. You could be an exchange student. Take an art class or a cooking class just for fun, but just keep learning. And it doesn't have to be from a book. Every time you learn something new, it forms or strengthens neural pathways. You knew the physio teacher would mention brains, right? Lifelong learning makes your brain flexible. It makes you more open to new experiences. Education that is intellectually rigorous helps us identify our biases, prejudices, and privileges. I saw a quote recently that said, "Some people see the glass as half full, and others see it as half empty." They're all missing the point. The glass is refillable. So learning enhances our perspective. It makes us curious, compassionate, and informed. And there's always more room for that. And don't take your education for granted either. Share it. Second, travel the world. Now, travel's expensive, so if you can't jet off to an exotic locale, read a travel book, do a study abroad program, watch foreign films, learn a new language, explore the city where you live, try new foods. Just open yourself up to adventure. Even planning a fantasy trip someday can be rewarding. An adventurous spirit builds self-confidence. When we explore, it expands our minds, challenges us to see the world from a new perspective, and presents new opportunities. Lastly, find yourself. That's a tough one. The Labor Bureau says people average 7 different jobs in a lifetime. Roughly a third of college students change their major at least once. 1 in 12 students in a community college has returned after getting a degree in something else. The truth is, we change our minds. Our interests shift. Who you are today, you may not recognize in 10 to 20 years. I know I don't, looking back. The comedian Tim Minchin says, "Don't seek happiness, keep busy." We didn't evolve to be constantly content. Contented Homo erectus got eaten before passing on his genes. While I may have been or just felt invisible, it was the catalyst that made me seek to change. David Letterman said after the events of 9/11, "There's only one requirement of any of us, and that is to be courageous, because courage defines all other human behavior." And I believe pretending to be courageous is just as good as the real thing. So don't rush. You don't have to know what to do with the rest of your life. You just have to be open to it. Choosing to say yes to opportunities, to possibilities, to the unknown will push you to live life. So what will you say yes to?
Thank you, Mrs. Starr. Before I do this next bit, I was remiss in my introductions, and I need to honor one more person that has joined us today, our Director of Secondary, Samantha Allen. President Cound, I'm pleased to report to you that the class of 2021 assembled here today have met all of the graduation requirements established by the state of California and the Mount Diablo Unified School District's Board of Trustees. I am proud to present to you these outstanding graduates and ask that you please accept the Northgate High School class of 2021.
I'm so honored to be in your presence. I'm president of the school district board, but I'm also a local parent and a school volunteer. But I didn't grow up here. My childhood was spent picking cactus berries in Venezuela and camping in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia. In kindergarten, I was that kid who didn't speak the local language in school. And in college, I was that girl who didn't look like an engineer. Ultimately, I decided I wanted my career to be in education policy to ensure that all students, no matter what you look like or where you come from, can access a quality public education. I've learned this year from this Northgate class just how crucial students are as an important part of bringing that dream to reality. In these times of isolation from a global pandemic, our neighborhoods are more segregated than ever, and COVID hit some families much harder than others. And with the algorithms of social media and online news, it's been easier than ever before for each of us to stay in our own bubble. Those of us this year who were fortunate to have food, shelter, and health had the luxury to appreciate that more than ever, while not necessarily considering others. But what I see in you, Northgate seniors, is a willingness and an initiative to step outside of that bubble, an understanding of the interconnectedness of our world, and a drive to make a difference. The global pandemic did not stop you. It drove you to do more. Broncos, those of you whose families faced eviction or job loss or sickness, you stepped in to care for family members, to teach siblings, to earn extra income. Many of you found creative ways to still enter the county science fair, and I know there's winners out there, compose music, and perform from your own bedroom. I've witnessed incredible initiative of students helping others above and beyond even any graded school project. You tutored younger students in music and math over Zoom. You donated soccer cleats to kids in need, worked to diversify our narrative in MDUSD. You sat on city commissions and foundation boards and even represented our district in the first ever student school board position. You did not wait till after the pandemic or after graduation. The truth is, whether or not today you've received awards, high grades, or medals, each of you, in your own unique way, is already improving our communities with your kindness, care, and contributions. In this world of increasing fear and misinformation, what does our country, what does our democracy need? We need active citizens and leaders who have the empathy and skills to bring people together to solve local and worldwide problems together. We need you. And I know that as you move on from this school, you will continue to build a better society for all of us. And with that, on behalf of the Mount Diablo Unified School District Board of Education, I hereby accept the Northgate High School senior class of 2021 and do hereby confer upon these graduates all the rights and privileges due them. Congratulations, class of 2021.
All right. Well, as Mrs. Starr mentioned, a couple weeks ago, I got a text from Principal Cooper. And the text said, "Can you please give me a call later?" And I thought, uh-oh. This might not, I have no idea what this is about. So your initial thought is, I hope this is a good thing. So I call her, and she mentions to me that in addition to, of course, saying your guys' names here as you walk across the stage, that your class, a number of you have said that you would also like me to say some words today. And I said, of course. I've been helping with graduation here for more than a decade. You're the first class that I know of that has said you would like me to say some words other than your names. So I'm honored. But then she said, well, did you open the envelope? And there was an envelope that we had gotten at school. We had a special teacher event that day. And inside the envelope, of course, I didn't open it until after I talked to her, were the comments those of you out there in your seats right now made about why you would want me to speak. And so I'm letting you know I'm honored. I hope to do you justice, and it means the world. Now, when I first found out we were having graduation here at the Concord Pavilion today, it was a while back, we got the word, I was overjoyed. Over-emotional, too, because I knew what it's like to graduate here. I've been here, I've seen class after class come through here and know what a moment it is to have graduation. But I also knew that this year it means more. Because it isn't like we've been hanging out every single day. It isn't like we've seen each other in the halls. It isn't like you've even been in person. So to know that we have this awesome facility that our district is able to have these graduations at made me so happy because I know what it's like for you and your families and friends who are here today. Now here's the funny thing about school. When we're in school, high school specifically, we are always looking for ways to not be in school. Right? We are, Labor Day, perfect, right at the beginning of the year, awesome, good day off. Okay, Veterans Day is coming, it's coming here soon. Ooh, then we're almost to Thanksgiving. And we're pumped. And it's not just students, teachers, staff, board, everybody pumped about getting days off of school. And you, in your 4 years, have had two interesting times that happened. The first one's your sophomore year, right before Thanksgiving break was supposed to start. In fact, one day before we were supposed to get out for Thanksgiving. Of course, this was caused not by a good thing, by the smoke and the fires, and we knew it was horrible outside, and of course, during the day, everyone's wondering what's going to happen. So, sometime during fifth period, the word came down to me in the gym, and some of you were in that gym with me that day, and I gathered the class around at the end of the period and said, okay, guys, we're not having school tomorrow, so you're out for Thanksgiving break one day earlier. You would have thought the NBA Finals had just finished. The World Series had just been decided, or the Super Bowl had just ended. From the amount of adulation and celebration, kids jumping into each other's arms, running around because of one day earlier than we were normally used to. And then we go to last year, the blackout. Oh, we all remember that. We all remember that. So whether it was a couple periods you didn't have to go, whether it was you never went and you tried to tell your parents you went that day and you kind of didn't go that day, whatever the situation was for you, it was once again another day where we didn't have to totally be in school because we look for those days. But then March 13th happened, 2020. And at that point, we got told to go home. And we didn't know at that point how long that was going to be. But I am very confident in saying that I know since that point, there are many, many of us, probably almost all of us, that have yearned and wished we could be back in that school. And today is like being back in the school. Today, you get to finish off the way you're supposed to. So no matter what this year has been or hasn't been, you're here today to graduate. And this graduation, I am extremely sure, will be something you'll remember. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, your kids, they're going to say, hey, well, tell me about your high school graduation. Oh, and it's a story that only you will be able to tell because literally no one else has done it. So that's important, right? Now, as far as what words I would have for you, the speakers before me touched on them. Ms. Cooper, Mrs. Starr, Dr. Clark, about doing your thing. I say it's writing your story. You are in charge of your story from this point on. There are some of you right now sitting there watching me who your family and friends were not certain you were going to make it to this day. Maybe as uncertain as Thursday or Friday this week, potentially. They were wondering, are you going to make it? Are you going to turn the stuff in? Oh, do they even check into Zoom? Have they been to class? I don't even know. But you made it here. You're here today. Then there are those of you who literally have never struggled scholastically, not one bit. But maybe for you, it's your families that have done everything for you up to this point, right? They cleared the path. Well, now you write the story. Don't let anybody dictate what comes next for you. I know that might seem like, all right. No, really. No one's going to. It's you. And no matter what you're doing after today, in 10 years, some of you right now, none of us will believe what you accomplished or are doing. You as well. Every year, there are amazing things we hear about people who graduated, and we say, you know what? We were shocked that person walked across the stage. But look what they're doing now. So it might seem daunting. It might seem a little bit, I don't know. But it should excite you because the path's not going to be straight. There's going to be twists. There's going to be turns. You're going to go up. You're going to go down. But you are writing that story. So you guys have made it here. You're here today to graduate, to walk across the stage. Your perseverance, your toughness, mentioned your grit. Grit. You have it, regardless of what you think. So today, let this be about you. Let this be about you succeeding. And who knows what's coming next. So right now, let's get you graduated. Will the first two rows please stand up? Tony Genici De Leon. Jonathan Arnon Hobbs. Jonathan William Nelson Hollister. Emily Tomiko Nakamura. Oluwa Bemisola Abimbola Akinsola. Benjamin Charles Altieri. Chloe Ewan Anderson. Sienna Elaine Anderson. Carly Marie Angis. Lillian Kendall Green Andrada. Dimitro Antoniuk. Zaina Bushra Atout. Sarah Ann Ayala. Hannah Christine Bachman. Nicole Hannah Bajelier. Leon Bamberger. Christopher Josue Barba Ponce. Nicholas Anthony Shammy Barksdale. Peyton Marie Barnes. Belen Ava Barney. Nathaniel Alexander Barrera. Rory John Berry. Madeline Joy Bartley. David Anthony Pishota Bell. Evan Samir Bandari. Tanner Hiram Blotter. Jacob Colin Bobrowski. Sarah Jane Bonanno. Ria Bora. Ashley Jean Bowen. Evan Stephen Brandt. Quinn Radford William Brandt. Walter Lloyd Bremer. Tom Bueller. Adam Jacob Burks. Samuel Joseph Campopiano. Nicholas Anthony Cardona. Aaron Jeffrey Carlton. Logan Ryan Carter. Kevin Mauricio Castillo. Jamie Lee Champion. Anthony Scott Cole. Jared Michael Collins. Isabella Nicolette Competente. Nicholas Caesar Contreras. Gavin Quinn Dowsis. Toby DeClerc. Anisha Mina Da Silva Avesti. Amara Genevieve Deal. Beckett William Dohan. Casey Gabriel Drulard. Han Hudson Eldridge. Connor Thomas Emelson. Jake Matthew Enos. Alexa Rose Flynn. Drew William Fox. Caden Brady Friedman. Samia Lamise Fustak. Ryan Andrew Garrigan. Miko Antonio Garcia. Ashley Elizabeth Gay. Ryan Adam Gay. Meg Eileen Giatsis. Alexis Chardonnay Greenberg. Zoe Selma Gronert. Liana Rochelle Gurovich. Riley Grace Hadfield. Erin Nicole Heine. Abby Lucy Marie Hallett. Evan James Haley McCarty. Yusuf Saeed Hashimi. Arwen Rose Heller. Sydney Ann Herbert. Olivia Jane Hyatt. Costa Raymond Hosch. Caitlin Marie Jenke. Ashlyn Grace Johnson. Talia Abigail Jones. Elon Samuel Kinder. Grace Lee Knauer. Abriana Leilani Lanky. Natalie Ann LaRue. Nathan Edward Ledesma. Natasha Jinju Lee. Nicholas Sivan Lesueur. Sophia Marie Lito. Hannah Lee Liberatori. Casey Lee Lindeman. William David Lingua. Mithiel Loganathan. Carlos Ernesto Magallon Reyes. Michael Gregory Maynor. Aya Aoki McCann. Ryan David McCarger. Christian Allen McCulloch. Ainsley Hart McNulty. Connor Ryan McNulty. Madison Lynn Mokala. Garrett Frederick Morgan. Syed Bilal Musumi. Liam James Murray. Lucy Alexa Nepasina. Ingrid Elsa Nordberg. Finn Elijah Edel. Tyler Eric Olson. Omar Mustafa Omar. Angeline Ongpin. Ben Ethan Padan. Eden Ann Padan. Sophia Elisa Padawan. John Charles Parker. Hannah Nicole Parkus. Sydney May Perez. Myra Ten Fan. Lindsay Ann Phillips. Dylan Michael Eben Picorni. Matthew William Polkinghorn. Nicole Pravoverov. Michaela Maria Rajecki. Emma May Rieg. Rachel Wagner Rosenfield. Michaela Joelle Rawson. Cooper Ray Ruff. Michael Stephen Rupert. Jane Jasmine Salcido. Lasila Hevani Saluni. Nicholas Iglesias Santos. Jordan Banuelos Saquin. Lily Nicole Schaffler. Beverly Jean Schimmel. Nathaniel Mark Schrag. Isabella Mary Sharp. Aliyah Omira Shajayi. Paige Peterson Sibley. Emily Christine Savincha. Margot Elizabeth Smethurst. Fiona Catherine Smith. Chaden James Snar. Devin Shaw Solomon. Gordon Cameron Spence. Zachary Michael Standley. Gwendolyn Tamura. Andrew Christian Tan. Cameron Lynn Thowland. Emily Ann Titterton. Jeremy Chinhan Tong. Jacob Jeffrey Unop. Armand Vadat. Jack Austin Vanderbeek. Evelyn Vargas Soto. Lauren Elizabeth Vendel. James Thomas Walker. Nathaniel Carter Walker. Caroline Xing Wang. Brett Robert Watson. Jake Thomas Welday. Taylor Christina West. Hannah Grace Willis. Myra Camille Wilson. Andrew Chihim Wong. Kyliana Ruth Wolf. Sothramona Yip. David Alexander Zaha Jr. Please put your hands together for the Northgate graduating class of 2021. As the senior officers are coming forward for our finale, a quick announcement about the end of the program. So after the ceremony is done, please remain seated. We will be releasing you each section in order to maintain the safe social distance required at this time. Now, in audience, we're going to start over on that side when we are done. Once your section is called, please continue to exit through the plaza and towards the parking lots. Your graduates, while you are exiting there, are going to be exiting up the stairs they came in this morning, and they will be meeting you around the back. We'll make that announcement once we're done, but just want to make sure you are thinking about it now. And let's not waste any more time. It is time for Michaela Rajecki, Nate Schrag, and Sophia Padawan.
Good afternoon, Bronco students, families, and staff members. My name is Nate Schrag, and I am the ASB president for the class of 2021.
My name is Sophia Padawan, and I'm the ASB vice president. We are so grateful to have the opportunity to see all of you one last time and have the ability to host a proper send-off. We all know this is not the year we had all imagined.
Everyone remembers March 13th. I remember listening to Dr. McAllister on the overhead speaker announcing that our spring break had been extended. Life was going great, a 2-week-long spring break, and summer was right around the corner.
As the days passed, we began to notice the severity of the situation we had been put in. Remember when prom was canceled? No fancy dresses, fine tuxedos, celebrations, music, or dancing. What a somber Saturday that was.
Remember months on end of online assignments and long hours of sitting at home in front of your computers. We all binge-watched Netflix shows and got caught in the Who Killed Carol Baskin's Husband debate.
All of the lunch times, mock congress, senior ball, prom, Battle of the Creek, homecoming, the senior steps, dress-up days, late nights, and the friendships that were yet to be formed were all missed out on. What was supposed to be the climax, the season finale of our high school careers, was abruptly cut short. All we can remember this year by is the hand sanitizer, masks, and Zoom.
But we didn't come here to talk about what could have been. We came to remind you about the best parts of the last 4 years. Remember your parents dropping you off at school for the first time? We all walked past the same big cement walls, double-checking our schedules with our maps and trying to figure out why room 79 was all the way across the school from room 77. And then sitting in the gym bleachers while Mr. Bollocky gave an energetic speech about Link Crew was only the beginning of the story to come.
Remember the cold walks from Hutch at 7 in the morning, and then the long, hot walk back to your car at the end of the day?
Remember everyone going to Akalani's to support our men's water polo team at NCS?
Remember our first homecoming spirit week, where we all dressed up as babies, the 50s era, and baseball players? The homecoming game was our first feeling of Friday Night Lights and the first Battle of the Creek game. All of us freshmen at the top could feel the Bronco pride radiating from those lower in the stand as they encouraged us to get louder.
Remember our first finals week when all of us were using the original colorful HomeLink app to check what scores we needed to pass?
Remember tossing frisbees and playing racquetball during freshman year PE? And the barrel rolls that ended in laughter and some of us even on the floor. And at the end of the year, we painfully sat through the senior slideshow that was 15 minutes long, knowing that it would soon be us on the basketball court in the far future.
Remember the over-the-top projects and tents for the If I Could Change the World project? You had to make sure your space around the library had the loudest music or the brightest lights.
Remember when all of us showed up to class with heavy whipping cream, salt and ice, ready to make and eat our own ice cream in chemistry at 8 in the morning?
Remember standing up and waiting for your name to be called for new seating charts? The excitement you would have to go to the next class. Hopefully your math buddy wasn't absent again.
Remember how we won the homecoming lip sync battle our sophomore and junior years with an epic lightsaber battle and Stephen breaking it up with us on the dance floor?
Not to mention that we easily could have taken the crown this year.
Remember when our teachers, even though you guys are all so great, would tell us we had Mr. Campbell as a sub that day? And how he would rope you into conversation about how he got trapped in the Egyptian pyramids, or how he shook the hands of 2 presidents.
Remember the drama performances, watching the Winter One acts written by our very own classmates, most notably A Most Heinous Murder and Stepping Stones. And make sure to remember the beautiful band instruments, late-night study sessions, ultimate Frisbee extravaganza, sitting on the sophomore and junior steps, and the games at rallies where our friends would go out and embarrass themselves. Remember when our parents would pick us up at 3:05? We did not have much other to say than, "No, Mom, school was boring." But looking back, I've realized that these were some of my most fond memories from high school. Especially in a year like this, it helps you appreciate all the interactions with your peers that made our days bearable.
Remember when over 150 students got up at 6 a.m. to watch the sunrise to begin our senior year? Who knew so many people would get out of bed so early to mark the beginning of our last year together at Northgate?
And remember last Friday night, the struggles of finding parking to watch the sunset at Ocean Beach.
There's no reason to look down on the past year when we have so much to look forward to. We have gotten through the thick of it so far, which means the best times are yet to come. Hopefully in the future, we will have many more remember that moments.
You will remember the first college class you take, or the first job you will get.
You will remember your first freshman roommate and all the friendships you will form in less than 5 months.
And you will remember the day you are sitting at your college graduation, ready to take on the world. But remember, it was, is, and always will be a great day to be a Bronco.
And now, remember this moment as you sit here in your cap and gown, about to graduate.
Hey seniors, are you ready? This is the moment we have all been waiting for. The culmination over the past 4 years of long nights, study sessions, and really hard exams, in addition to the speeches that were given today, we have finally made it and it has finally paid off. Can I have all seniors please rise? Please hold on to your tassel and move it from right to left. And I can now finally introduce the class of 2021. Congratulations, seniors, we did it!